Good. Minister, since the government was formed, you have been promising to deliver affordable housing. You've had sufficient time to explore options, and if this is the best you can come up with, then we have a real problem. The idea of a purchase shared equity scheme being put forward by yourself will simply not work, and I would argue it is worse than similar schemes in the past. History has shown us that schemes like the Minister is proposing have proved disastrous for people and have inflated house prices. As Deputy McAuliffe and yourself should know, we are still dealing with the repercussions and consequences today of this earlier scheme, which was introduced originally in the 90s and into the 20s. In my experience, I found that many of the people on this earlier scheme ended up accumulating huge and unsustainable debt, forcing them to go from mortgage to rent after having paid their mortgage for many years, along with their rent as the scheme entailed. This new scheme will prove equally disastrous in the long term for people and will undoubtedly result again in inflated house prices, which is something that the ESRI and others, as well as members of your own party, have warned you about. I am concerned that this scheme is a throwback to the mistakes made during the period of the Celtic Tiger. I am also concerned that the subsequent collapse of the economy lay in part with the misconceived dependence and reliance Fianna Fáil placed on developers to build affordable housing. We need to be looking at and expanding on existing house projects such as the O'Coulon Housing Co-op, which has a proven track record of providing realistic affordable housing over the last number of years. My colleague Owen O'Brien, our spokesperson on housing, has put forward viable and realistic options for affordable housing, for example through the delivery of public housing by local authorities, approved housing bodies and community housing trusts, by increasing capital expenditure, by setting realistic prices for affordable housing and so on. I will recommend these solutions to you and urge you to consider a realistic and workable scheme that won't result in inflated house prices.